Hello, my name is Chanda, aka Gammy from Gammy's Garden. I, I just wanted to take this time to introduce myself. I am pretty new to gardening. This is my sixth season gardening, so I'm still pretty new, especially considering that the first 3 years of it, I killed everything that I touched. And so now um, I've become more comfortable with it. And I kind of wish I had started, which I did start from the beginning, recording and trying to make a YouTube. But I felt like I was not competent enough or as knowledgeable as I wanted to be in order to teach. But the growth would have been, to watch would have been awesome, especially during the times when things were not going so well for me in the garden. So it is a beautiful day here in North Carolina, and this is like, it's in my greenhouse, it is 80 degrees. Out here, it's in the high 60s, close to 70 degrees, and I'm sweating because I've been moving things around. And so today I'm just potting some things that I had kind of what I call mega sowing into a larger container, and I'm putting them into the container that they'll be in for a while, until it's time to come out and put them in the ground. A lot of these things you can't put in the ground because, or not put in the ground, but put outside just yet because we still have cold temps. And my estimated last frost date is around April 15th. So I can't leave anything outside. I am going to experiment with leaving some things in the greenhouse, although I'm scared. But I'm going to put a few things out and see how they do before I put a lot of my seedlings out. Because if I lost them all, I would be devastated. So right now I'm just getting ready to mix me some soil up. I have a little bit in here now, and that's still pretty dry. So this is just regular potting soil that I got from the store. A lot of times they don't have very many nutrients or anything in them when you get them. Some of them depending on the brand, but this is just some potting soil I picked up from maybe Dollar General, or someplace. This is just some soil that I picked up from the store. So you don't want to start with like just completely dry soil. You want to wet it so that it balls up and it holds itself. However, it still moves and gives the roots enough room to grow. So I think that's enough. I'm actually going to empty. If you see me looking around, it's simply because I'm outside and there are woods behind me. So that's why I have my back to the greenhouse. So sometimes I might look around because, yeah, I want to be safe. All right, so I have 5 here, and I have about 5 seedlings here of the Jamaican mushroom pepper. I up potted these on the 10th of February, and so they were little teeny seedlings, or that's when I planted them, sorry. I planted these on the 10th, and today is March 3rd. Okay, so what I'm about to do is I'm going to up pot these Jamaican mushroom pepper plants. I should have about 5 of them here. And I'm going to plant them as deep as the cup is until it's just sticking up out of the top, because especially now that it's warm, they are going to grow pretty fast. And I don't want them to outgrow the container. I really probably should have waited to start these till maybe about now, but anyway, don't judge me. To all of my experienced gardeners, don't judge me. I know I should have probably done this like this week versus maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, but sometimes you just have to put something in the soil and watch it grow to tie you over until it's time. And now that's one thing as a gardener, is that especially when springtime is about to roll around and it's almost time to get back in the garden, it is pretty hard not to get started early. You try to find tasks that will tie you over until it's time to really start planting and putting things in the ground, but don't always work out that way. Now I have another one. These are also Jamaican mushroom. These are actually older. I didn't put on here when I planted them, but I see another one coming up, and I planted 7 in here. I put in here that I put 7 seeds. So this one, of course, is bigger than that one. So I planted these even sooner than those that I just put in. So I'm going to take one of these, and I'm pulling at it very gently because I do want some good root, and I don't want to kill the plant. So I'm going to put this all the way down as well as I can, because it's going to get up there, and this one is going to grow fast as well, and it's older than these plants. So today is March 3rd, and this is one that I planted even, I guess, sooner than I planted this one, and these are about 3 weeks old. So I'm going to continue to do this, and I have some Hungarian my handwriting. Oh, Hungarian wax peppers. I have about 2 of those that germinated. It looked like a third one, but it's struggling. I have 3 of the hot pepper pinata blends, and then I have some beefsteak tomatoes. Look like I only got 1 of those. 1 didn't survive. And then sweet banana pepper. I have 2 of those. So I'm going to up pot those as well. So I have to get some more soil together. All right, so I have just planted up some of the Hungarian wax peppers. I planted 2 of those. I have 3, 6, 7 of the yellow Jamaican mushroom peppers. And now I am about to up pot 2 of the hot pepper pinata blends. Well, 3 of them. There's 3 here. So here's the one that I pulled out. That's the root system right there. I'm going to leave it intact and put it down in my soil. Make sure it's And this is just a knife that I had sitting near my plants, so that's what I'm using to dig it up out of the soil or out of the flat. Oh, gotta get another one. And I just stick my finger down in there, and because I'm planting it deep, because you see how long that root is, and so I mean the stem, sorry, I plant it all the way down so it'll have room to grow, just so it's just sticking up. And so these are the hot pinata blend. So those will be different color peppers right here. I'm trying to separate them because my crazy self didn't bring Sharpie out, so I'll wait till my son comes back and ask him to bring me a Sharpie. So here we have 2 sweet banana peppers. We got to get some more of those because I really want some banana peppers this year. It's really turned out to be a pretty day today. I meant to be out here like most of the day, but there's really no most of the day work to do out here. Although I do need to put down some weed barrier in the walk area. And I need to tidy up the bed that's right here in front of me. But I have things growing in it and I don't want to disturb them. So until I can harvest my broccoli and collards and cabbage, I think I'm just going to leave it there and just focus on the new area of garden that I put up. And I have some onions growing right here in this bed here behind me. And inside of the greenhouse, I have some snow peas, some snapdragons, a couple of calendula growing, and some collards growing. So, and I haven't planned out, I really haven't planned out my whole garden, but I'm going to. I was watching a YouTuber, and she planned out her whole garden, and she made it seem so easy. My attention span is what I really need to work on. One thing I can say is that gardening has really taught me patience. And having to wait for something to germinate is almost gives me anxiety. Waiting for it to germinate, and then but once you see it, you get pretty happy. But waiting on it. So that's another reason why I like to start stuff early, because when I come to put it outside, I want to see it. I want to see it right away. So when I finish with the garden for that day, I see something growing that I have put my hands in. And the first couple of years of me trying to grow from seed, I always end up at the store buying starts so that I could see something in the garden, and this didn't always, for the first week or so, come home to just an empty garden bed. Like, that just didn't sit well with me, because I wanted to see, that's that good old wanting instant gratification. Okay, I think this is all I'm gonna get out of here. There was some more tomatoes in here, but everything else looked like it died. I'm not sure what this is. I think it's some type of lettuce, but it's living, so we're gonna let it live. I'm gonna plant it. Oh, I think I probably just killed it, but it didn't have a root system. But we're gonna see what happens with it. I think it's a lettuce, a Paris Island lettuce, and I'm gonna put it in here and see what we get. If it's showing signs of life, who am I to kill it? I'm gonna just stick this right in here and hope that it come out as a lettuce. It's Paris Island. I don't know what this cos mean. I don't know if it means cosmopolitan or I don't know, but it's a Paris Island lettuce. At least that's what I think it is. It looks kind of like a pepper, but we'll see what it grows up to be. All right, so I'm going to take these out. These are some that I'm going to have to replant because I don't have them, but I'm sure that I have more seeds because this was just some that I started just to get going. Now, one thing that I am growing this year that I do not eat, there's actually two things. One I know I can grow because I grew a whole lot of them a couple of years ago and I never ate any of them, so I didn't grow them again, and that was green peppers. I don't like green peppers. I take that back. I like green peppers, but I like them raw. And I don't eat them a lot, so I didn't grow anymore. But last year, my aunt did a lot of cooking, and I would have to go to the store because she cooked everything with green peppers, just about. And so this year, I want to grow her some green peppers to cook with because those green peppers were 69 cents a piece. And one plant, I have a lot of peppers on. So I'm growing her some green peppers. The second thing that I'm growing that I don't eat is okra. I've never eaten it. I don't want to try to eat it, but I have family that like it, and I want to take some down to my grandma and my aunt because I know that they cook it and that they like it. And nothing more gratifying than giving somebody something out of your garden, besides eating something out of your garden. My grandbaby, hence the name Gammy, loves to come out and eat out of the garden. Last year, she fell in love with nasturtiums. When I told her it was a plant that she could eat, it's a little peppery at the end of it, but she liked it, so we let her go for it. So I'm going to grow her plenty of nasturtiums this year. And the snow peas, we really enjoyed the snow peas as well. I did not realize how good those were, but I have some of those growing right now inside the greenhouse. They're coming up pretty good. Now the first, when I first put them in there, and in my defense, this is my first, well, not my first greenhouse because I have a smaller one here, but I put everything in here. And let me tell you that a lot of times in the summertime, because I work a lot and I usually work out of town, God did a lot of my watering last year, and I still got pretty good harvest. So I have to take that into account with this greenhouse, that God can't water what he can't get to. Although I know he could get to it if he really wanted to, but I don't want any holes inside of my greenhouse. So I forgot to water the doggone snow peas, and so I'm sitting up waiting like, why are they not germinating? And then something just hit me one day like, you ain't water them. So now I make sure that they stay watered. And actually 2 days after I started watering them, they just like flourished from there. I probably would have a couple of snow peas to eat right now had I did what I was supposed to do. That was all my fault. So now we're going to up pot some tomatoes. These are 42-day tomatoes. This is from M.I. Gardner. And out of the 6 that I planted, I have gotten 5 of them. I think I remember this one just not pulling through. So I'm going to up pot these. Now I'm up potting them because I want to put them I'm gonna put some in a greenhouse just because it's getting warm. If I see that it's gonna get cold, I'll come out here and get them. But I'm going to give them a chance, at least some of them, out in a greenhouse, so that I can see how they will do. I'm probably only planting maybe 2 of each variety of tomato that I find that I'm wanting. The only ones that I say that I really know that I want is, like, I like the Cherokee purple tomato. It's really good on a sandwich, and it's really good just by itself. And I'm wanting to make spaghetti sauce. Spaghetti is one of my son's favorite foods, and so I made some spaghetti sauce for him one time and he loved it. So I'm going to make some spaghetti sauce and put it up for him. So let's get these tomatoes planted. Have it under my belt. It's something about, like, going into your next week and you've done like a substantial amount of work out in your garden, so that you know you're not going to get too far behind, because come in a couple of months or a month or so, it's going to get to the point where you're going to be busy in the garden, and you don't want to let it get away from you, although usually every year it's going to get away from you at some point. It's just going to become overwhelming, but it's a good overwhelming because you see the abundance, and how, which I'm always in amazement of, how God gave us these little tiny seeds that produce all of this food for us. And I don't think I'll ever stop being in awe of that. And I'm going to pop these out one at a time. There we go. You see that root? That's what you want. And you want to make enough room for them to go. And I'm going to have to dump some of this out so that I can go further down in the cut. Because the tomatoes, they'll continue to root. I actually can take these bottom leaves off so that I can bury it even, or not bury it, but plant it even deeper. And that way, it's almost like it's starting all over again. And so it gives you time to let it grow before it has to be put out in a garden. And before you have to put it out. And then it gives the tomato time to just gain its strength and get ready to do what it do and produce you all of these wonderful tomatoes. I've never eaten a 42-day tomato. I'm not sure well, I'm assuming it takes about 42 days for it to come to maturity. Maybe that's why it's called that. But I don't know that I've ever eaten one, but who knows, because we go to the grocery store and we eat what's there, so we really don't know what kind of tomato we're eating. At least when you come out to your garden, if you remember to tag it when you come out to your garden, then you know what you're eating, you know where it came from, and you know what's been put on it and what's not been put on it. So I'm definitely not spraying anything in my garden, and don't, like, I tell my husband all the time, don't spray anything in this garden. Anything around it, near it, like, don't spray. He cuts the grass. First time and only time I ever went to cut the grass, of course I run over a snake. So I haven't done it since. It wasn't a big snake, it was a baby snake, but a snake is a snake. So I really didn't need to fill these cups, because with the tomatoes, those birds are over there having a ball and scaring me to death, because every time I hear something, I look over there. And just for the record, I don't mind being outside, and I've talked about a snake and finding. I have found 2 snakes in the garden so far. I found a snake last year. I was moving out of my spa, and I wanted to take my flower pots home. So when I go to get my pots, and I was ready to at first I was just ready to take the pots and put them in the car because I wanted the soil too. Honey, there was a beautiful snake. I mean, the colors on them were so pretty, but I don't know what kind of snake it was, but I scared it and it scared me. And so I dumped that soil out and the soil in the other one and went on about my business. But I did get to keep my pots. I had got in the car at first and was like, screw this pot, but I wanted to keep my pots. I was like, I got some lettuce growing over there that I didn't remember. But everything is going to come to life now. Anything that you had growing over the winter that you put out, you're going to start to see the growth in it. Because as it gets warm, then everything just starts to bloom. And it's a beautiful sight. One thing that I wish I had did was my garlic. I didn't. I actually bought some garlic to put out and never put it out. I don't know how or why that happened, but it did. So I didn't get any garlic this year. And last year I was so proud of my garlic, so proud, and used it. And I'm still going to make me some though. I watch another YouTuber. This is where I learned to garden, y'all, is YouTube. I follow some pretty cool people on YouTube. And at first, as much as I wanted to get my channel started, I was just like, they know so much more than I do. Like, I really, where's my place in there? But I do so many different things, and there's a whole lot of people doing that too. Like, why not? And also, I get to document, like today, May 3rd, I can say that I can go back and see that I have planted my 42-day tomatoes, and I up-potted them today. So you get to, pretty much like e-journal, and also get to share what you're doing with the world. For those that are interested in what you're doing, you'll have your people, and people that'll follow you. You'll have, people that may not like your channel, but hey, it's my channel, so I will just put it up. Hope that everybody sees it and likes it. And for those that I'm just not their cup of tea, it's there if you ever need it. So now we got those tomatoes, and we have another small flat, which we only got 5 of these too. Wait a minute, that don't look like a tomato. That actually looked like a lettuce, but that last one. So I think I have 4 tomato plants here. These are the cherry tomatoes. And this is from American Seed Company. Like the ones that you can get out of like Dollar Tree and Dollar General. That's where these seeds came from. I tried to mark where my seeds came, or mark the seeds that I put down and where they came from. So we have 4 here, and I think this is a lettuce, but I'm going to plant that as well, or up-pot that as well. And that's another thing. One year I got so much lettuce, and so much of it went bad. But again, my aunt, she loves salad. When I tell you she eat at least a salad or 2 a day, and so could save her money by coming out, getting her some lettuce, washing it off, and making her a salad. I'm going to keep these on flats or either in a cardboard box, because if I ever need to come out here and just get my babies out of here, we are up out of here. Like, if it gets too cold and I think that they're not going to make it, somebody is coming outside with me to get in this greenhouse with some light, and we're going to get these babies up out of here. So, again, I'm not going to fill them all first. Because I want to put the tomato as deep as it'll go. I want to show you the hairs on the tomato. All right, as you can see, that root system right there, right? But if you look at this tomato and you see those little hairs down there, those little hairs right there, those will grow into, they're actually growing out to become root. So what I'm going to do is take, and I'm going to just drop it in there, because why not compost in place? And you can put your tomatoes down and let it go as deep as it will. This one is grown up. It's become a little teenage tomato plant. At least a preteen. And this is going to be a cherry tomato plant. So these are smaller than of course, the bigger ones that I just planted up. So I had some beefsteak that I think I just mixed in with the 42-day, maybe. I don't remember, but we're gonna see when it comes. We know it's a tomato plant. We're just gonna go with it. And I still did that. Put a little bit of soil. I'm gonna separate these so I don't get them mixed in with my 42-day tomato. These are cherry tomatoes. Let me put this right here. So, what else can I talk about? Well, we'll talk about Lala. Lala is who made me a Gammy. That's my grandbaby. And she loves to be out in the garden as well. She's just not here right now. She's always wanting to help me plant something, and she's the one, if you go to my TikTok, and she's singing happy birthday to the plants, that's Lala. She's in a lot of the pictures on Instagram, and that's how I came up with Gammy's Garden. It became a Gammy in 2020. Don't want to tear up my roots. Don't want to tear up my plant. I started to do this inside the greenhouse, but it was 80 degrees in there. Thank you, dear. Way too warm. Huh? Yes, thank you. Way too warm for me to set up in there. I'm sure it's cooled off by now, and I was moving stuff around, and yeah, it was too hot to be in there. Oh, this is lettuce, so I can fill this up. I'm sure this is a lettuce. It looks like one. So we're just gonna stick this in here and see. Probably an arugula. maybe. So now I'm going to take the time to go ahead and mark these plants because, yeah. Oh, no. But you want to From now on, these will be watered from the bottom whenever I do water them, because I don't want to break my plant by no means, and to make sure that it gets the nutrients that it needs. I'm going to bottom water them. And all that means is that this tray that I put them in, I'll put water in the bottom, and the water will be sucked up through the bottom of the pot. And that's the way I will water these plants from here on out. I'm just going to put lettuce with a question mark on 3-3. Now pepper plants grow like little bushes, so most of the time doesn't need to be staked, but if you find that it's leaning a little bit, you can stake it. Oh, I just noticed some of my arugula was coming up. I had put some arugula out there around the edge of that bed and came back and all of them were gone. And yesterday I came out, where did I put those? I came out yesterday and planted some radishes. I'm excited about those. I like radishes. When you come outside and it's like really, really warm and it just gives you that garden fever. And then, oh, one of my little Jamaican mushroom peppers look like it don't want to act right. I planted quite a few of these, I guess. We're gonna see if we can bring it back alive. If not, there will only be one in this spot. But it looks like it's struggling. But that's another Jamaican mushroom pepper. But when you come outside and it's like really warm, if you're not at your house, it's like, oh, I can't wait to get back home. But then the sun starts going down and it reminds you it's still winter time. It is not springtime yet, which is not cold out here, but yes. Oh, I gotta get these. So these are my honeycomb small tomato peppers. I gotta get these in because I really wanted these, and I planted I planted quite a few, but it looked like I got at least 6 of them. So I neglected these. I really need to get these in a pot. So I'm gonna take these and put them over here. I need to mark those Jamaican mushrooms too. I think my tomatoes going back in the house with me, y'all. I don't think I can leave them babies outside. It's just not time. It's not time. I know better. And I know that some people have their grow houses with their tomatoes in them. I'm just not ready. I'm not ready. They might be ready, but I'm not ready. So these are honeycomb small tomatoes. These are supposed to be really sweet tomatoes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Look like 10, and I'm potting every one of them. All right, so we have the tomatoes. We have 42-day tomatoes, the Jamaican yellow mushroom peppers. Oh, this I did the beefsteak. I did mark the Paris Island lettuce is what we think it is. Sweet banana pepper. We have two of those, and then 3, 6, 9, 10 of the honeycomb tomatoes. What is this? Oh, got some Brussels sprouts. I think I'm gonna put these in the ground. I think I'm just gonna put them in the ground, and because April is next month, I'm just gonna put these in the ground and see what we get out of them. Brussels sprouts. What do we have here? More Jamaican yellow mushroom. Here's an okra plant. One looks a little scraggly. Let's take that out. And so we have one okra. Let's let that do its thing. What else do we have? Oh, we do have some more peppers. The Sanataka peppers. This right here is a tomato plant. Oh, that's a beefsteak tomato. And I think this is a sunflower, y'all. It's something. I don't know what this is, but I feel like I need to put it in the ground. It might have been an okra plant. This is okra. Why is it so big? Here's another Jamaican mushroom plant. Let's put some soil in it. I'll get the pseudo. So I think that's it for now. I do have a small, which I'm going to plant some more. These are my favorites. These are calendula. I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do with those yet, but I want a pretty, oh, I'm gonna put these in a pot. I'm gonna find a big old pot to put these in. I absolutely love calendula. They're pretty, they're useful. I make oils out of them, and they're just pretty to grow. So I'm gonna find a big pretty pot to put some of these in. And then this year I want to, my goal is to sell flower stems. Um, Hopefully bouquets, but I want to sell flowers this year. So I have some snapdragons, I have the calendula. I'm going to be planting. I have a whole lot more seeds, which why I needed to make some room before it got warm. Oh, oh Lord. So I have another little flat that I need to put some of those out just to see if they grow and what's going to happen. They're broccoli. So I'm going to put them out, and if I get some broccoli, yay. I have some broccoli out there now. I'm waiting on 2 heads to get bigger, so that I can get them. I think this is a cabbage collet, I think. But I'm so tempted to just take this thing up, or at least take some of the leaves off and go cook them up. And then I'm looking at some collards now. I might do that tonight, just to see. Because again, I didn't tag those, so I really don't know which is which. I mean, you can tell a cabbage from a collard once the cabbage starts heading. But then I had some cabbage collards, and I don't know which one those were. So I think I'm going to take some in the house and see what we can get out of them. See how they taste. We'll do that this evening. The calendula, I think, needs to really be potted up. But I want to put them in their forever home. I need to figure out where I'm going to put these. I might put them in a grow bag. We'll see. We'll see where we're going with this. I have some bean plants over here too with the onions. Don't know how well that's going to go, but they're there. I need to go get my other flat so that I can put these in it. And I think that's it for now. I'm going to leave some of these outside. I am, maybe 2, 3. And I'm going to take most of them back in the house. I have to. Because, again, the devastation that would occur if all of this work was in vain. So, I will see you guys later. Thank you for joining me while I potted these tomato plants and pepper plants. And again, they're probably a little too early, but guess what? We're gonna go with it. And in a couple weeks, I'm probably gonna plant some more. So I look forward to seeing y'all in the next video. Have a good day.